Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Dear my students, grade 8, welcome back. We are going to go on and complete our unit 11 for the second term, lesson number 4. In today's lesson, inshallah, we have a reading and writing exercises. Before we start here, we have some vocabulary. Let's study the new vocabulary together. The first word that we have is called unusual. Unusual. Like the example says what here? These inventions are strange and unusual. Can you tell me what's the meaning of the word unusual here? Excellent. Synonym for strange, the opposite of usual. That's right. So the first one is called what here? Unusual. Unusual means different from others of the same type in a way that is surprising, interesting, or attractive. So this is the first word that we have today. Let's move to the next one. Fiction. Fiction. Most kids and teenagers like watching fiction movies. Fiction. Fiction. Fiction, the same like not real, unreal. That's right, fiction. When I say fiction, it means the type of book or story that is written about imaginary characters and events and not based on real people and facts. Fiction. Fiction. Next one, details. Details. A story writer should add details to a story about how characters act, think, and feel. Details. When I say the word details, I speak about the whole text or everything in the text or everything in the thing that I speak about. Details. Details. The word detail here, it means a single piece of information or fact about something. Detail. The next word that we have is called suffer. Suffer. Like this example says, some people suffer from taschaphobia, the fear of the number 13. Suffer. Suffer. Some people, they don't like number 13 because they think it's unlucky number. So suffer here means to feel pain. Next one, generally. Generally. People generally smile back if you smile at them. So when I want to define the word generally, it means usually or in most situations. Generally. Generally. Next one, vote. Vote. Like the example here says, vote for the best student in the class who has a positive attitude. Vote. You have to give him a vote. Okay? Vote. Like in the elections, we vote. When we elect someone to lead us or to represent us, okay, we are going to say what? Vote. When I say the word vote, it means to express your choice or opinion, especially by officially writing a mark on a paper or by raising your hand or speaking in a meeting. So the word is called what? Vote. Work in groups to vote on the most creative story and make notes about why you think it's the best one. Then explain your opinion to your group. So this is the meaning of what here? Vote. To express your opinion. Let's revise the new vocabulary together. Unusual, unusual, fiction, fiction, suffer, suffer, generally, generally, detail, vote, vote. Let's move to our book, page 86. We are going to have a reading text here. This text speaks about strange or creative. page 86. But before we read here, I'd like you to look at the three pictures here. We have three pictures. Do you know any of these people? And if you know, what do they do or what did they do in the past? If you don't, try to search for them. Try to surf the internet and know about them. Okay, it is very important to know that being creative doesn't equal being perfect. So when you are creative, it doesn't equal to be what? Perfect. Okay? Even the most creative people in the world can have strange or even unusual habits. Now you are going to read below about three creative people that are unusual in their own way or were unusual in their own way in the past. Let's move here. This is a reading text. Okay, I'd like you to tell me what was strange about each of the three characters. You are going to read this text alone at first and answer these three questions. The first one, what was strange about each of the three characters? You have three characters here down. The first one, you have Agatha Christie. The second one, you have Stephen King. And the third one, you have Nikola Tesla. The next question, what is the purpose of the writer? Why did the writer write this text? And at the end, try to give it another title. So you have to read and give it another title. You have some time to read it alone at first, and after that, you are going to read it with me again. Take your time, take 2 minutes, pause the video, and then come back again to read it with me. Now let's come back again here. The first question, what was strange about each of the three characters? Agatha Christie, okay, you have Nikola Tesla, the third one, and you have Stephen King, the second one. What was strange about each of the three characters? Try to write down in the comments. Look at them again. Okay? The second question, what is the purpose of the writer? Why did the writer write this text? What is the aim of the writer? Okay, he speaks about what here? I'd like you to think about this one. We are going to do them together at the end, but I'd like you to think at first alone. Okay, can you give another title for the text here? Strange or creative? Can you give it another title instead of strange or creative? Okay, if you have written one, try to write it down. Now let's read together to check the answers after we read together again. This English crime novelist, short story writer, and playwright didn't write at a desk. She never even had an office. Agatha Christie wrote over 60 books in hotel rooms, on kitchen tables, or in her bedroom. Sometimes she started writing before she even had a plot. She generally started with the details before moving on. The second character here, Stephen King is an American author of horror fiction. Sadly, he suffers from triskaidekaphobia, the fear of the number 13. Can you believe that this very creative man is afraid of the number 13 and its multiples? He also hates adverbs. He can write page after page without using a single one. Third one, Nikola Tesla. This is Nikola Tesla, one of history's greatest inventors. Remember his face every time you are showered with the blessings of electricity. But this genius was also called mad. because of the strange things he did. He rarely slept for more than 2 hours straight. This harmed his physical and psychological health. Once he stayed awake for 84 hours. He also loved pigeons so much that he would go out and look for injured ones to take to his home and nurse them back to health. Okay, I think now you have understood the three questions, like strange about each one, and the purpose of the writer to tell us about the three characters. And another title, we can say strange people here or creative people. Now, here let's move to another exercise. I'd like you to read again the text alone and choose the correct answer from A, B, C, and D. Here you have three questions. The first one, the underlined word one in the first paragraph refers to what? Page, number, adverb, or author? Number two, the opposite of the underlined word details. Opposite, okay? In the second paragraph is what? Facts, whole, items, pieces. Number three, the underlined word mad in the third paragraph means what? Angry, upset, crazy, or strict? Take your time and answer them. Pause the video and then come back to check the answers. Let's check the answers together. This is the first paragraph. The underlined word on, the last line, look at the last line here, okay, refers to what? Read the last two lines together with me. You will read below about three creative people that were unusual in their own way. So here refers to what here? Who can tell me? Page, number, adverb, or author here? Excellent. Author, okay. Next one, the opposite of the underlined word details in the second paragraph is what? Look at the last line here. You have the word details. I don't want the same meaning. I don't want the synonym. I want the opposite of this word. It means what here? Excellent. It's going to be what here? Whole. The last question. Look here, we have a word mad. The word mad in the third paragraph means what? What's the meaning? Angry, upset, crazy, or strict? That's right. Well done. It's going to be what? Crazy. Now, let's move here. Do you think that you should be perfect to be creative? If you think yes, explain. Like you have to be perfect or you should be perfect to be creative or not. If yes, write yes in the comments and say why. If no, write no and say why. Now let's move to a writing exercise here. Part 3. We have discussed before together two parts. Here I'd like you to write the final draft for the short story. You are going to edit the story by answering the following questions. I think you remember this picture, but here I'd like you to make sure that your story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. You have to make sure of this. The second point you have to be careful is the setting described clearly, the time and the place. The next point, are all the events and details clear? And can you offer more details to explain your characters or events? The next point you have to be careful about, are there boring parts in your story that need to be deleted? You need to remove. The last point you have to be careful about, did you check for grammar? You have to be careful about your grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Okay, so you have to make sure of these points before writing the final draft. Okay, I'd like you to write the final draft for the short story. Okay, this is what we have said together. And I'd like you to write the final draft in the comments below to check it and write the comments down. Take your time, and I am going to check your answers in the comments below if you write it. Now try to read your story to the class. Before we finish here, you need wide imagination to be creative. Do you agree or not? So, if you would like to be creative, you need wide imagination. You have to be an imaginative person. Do you agree or not? If yes, say yes and tell me the reason. If no, say no and tell me the reason. Thank you and see you inshallah in the following videos.